Hello, Franz here, Clay Manufacturing. I'm going to do a quick video on my Haas Mini Mill, just kind of little things about electrical, air, what it has, what I purchased with it. I also am going to plug my Clay Manufacturing website where I have free prints, free videos, and for the CAD CAM for this is my bottle opener, the Clay bottle opener. That one's called the Tuna. I also have videos how to do the chonk. This is a coaster logo. The other one, the one I have posted has feet. This was a prototype, so don't worry about that. I do have feet for it. The next one I'm working on is a free print and instructions to machine a speed handle. This is an old one, and I'm making a new version. I'm making tools for a tool library for a Haas Mini Mill. So this was all done. I'm updating some tool paths. Here's my rigid tapping. It's going to have a handle. These are old versions I did on a lathe. I'm gonna post instructions for a mill handle that we're gonna create on the mill, and we have to do soft jaws for this. So I'll have all that posted shortly on my website. But let's talk about the Mini Mill. The Mini Mill, this weighs about 4,000 pounds. It's got a 6K spindle. From what I have read, you can move this with a pallet jack, and I believe it because I've moved similar sized machines with 3/4 round stock, 36-inch long lengths. I'd put it on the bottom of the machine, screw up these leveling screws, and then move it around with a Burke bar. B-U-R-K-E, it's a sweet pry bar, who my friend Matt led me on, and now I use them all the time. So this guy has a 10 tool changer. I would prefer 20, but I did not want to prefer paying more money for a machine. And the 20 tool, like the Mini Mill tool, I believe the enclosure is quite a bit bigger, and I couldn't afford to buy a bigger machine. I paid half cash. I saved up for a very long time. I paid half cash, financed the other half. My payment's still like $600 a month, which is quite a bit, but we got dual incomes with my wife and between me, so like I'm not financially bound to make, I don't have to make money with this thing is what I'm saying. And if I have it for a while and I don't make money, she gone, I'm selling it. But at the time I was looking at buying a really old used one, but they were still in the 20s, and I was like, I'm not trying to buy a project where I'm working on it, or I'm not trying to buy an old Fadal where I'm working on it, or I don't know how abused it's been. So I pulled the trigger on this. It fits amazing in a 2-car garage. I'm so blessed for having a 2-car garage, but it is tight in here. This is all new, so it looks like I have all this open space, but I just installed that. The rack back there, I pulled out a bunch of tables, and so it looks like I got a lot of space. I've got 36 inches between the front of those totes over there and the back of my machine. I got 36 inches between the front of the shelving over here on this side. So I got good clearances around it, so I could take a wheelbarrow behind it if I needed to. I can pull all those out if I need to. When the machine was delivered, I did have to pop apart that cable carrier because the opening from my floor to the lowest point, there's a 2x6 up there, was about 83 inches. And to make it easy, I popped that apart. I had a broken thumb at the time, and I'm right-handed as my right thumb. And Lawson, they're the ones who delivered it. They won't like work on your machine. That's up to you. So they pointed, they're like, hey, pop these apart. I did it. I looked like a ding-dong because like I was trying to do it left-handed, so my fingers slipping off, but it got done. I have, behind this wall is a 200 amp panel. The house came with a 125 amp panel, and I had an electrician put in a 200 amp panel. I have run a wire through my ceiling, through over here. I dropped it in the back of the machine, and it's wired as single phase 240. It works great. At the time, I didn't have a plug to plug in my big compressor over there. So I bought this from Harbor Freight. It's about $400, so it is a good chunk of money, but this thing has been sweet. It goes up to 175 PSI, which is good for other things I do, like setting beads on mountain bike tires, so I just a huge blast of air at once. That thing's been really quiet, and I was gonna make a compressor house on the other side of this wall, but That thing ain't bad. I really like it. I've got some water, trying to separate water, but I don't run this compressor a whole lot. I live in Northern California. It's relatively dry climate. For tool, let's see. We'll talk more about the machine. I use a lot of Haas VF1s, so I thought I was going to be disappointed in it, and they have 30 horsepower motors, but honestly, I've really enjoyed this machine. On the machine, I did purchase, diagnostics, I purchased rigid tapping. I highly recommend. I would not have a mill without rigid tapping again. I would get high-speed machining, and from my understanding, the memory look ahead is limited if you don't purchase that. So if you're doing anything other than straight lines, I really recommend purchasing high-speed machining. I also purchased a chip auger because this does not have windows or access panels from the sides, which I do think is stupid. It would make so much sense to have some panels here like they do on the VF1, and I do think that is stupid. Overall, I really like the machine, but that is stupid. And so back to the auger, is this auger, it is a little wimpy. If you've got fluffy chips in there, it kind of bogs it down. It doesn't push them out well. I'm still glad I get it. So I got it. So my point of talking about the no windows is you don't have a lot of room to work in here. So I wanted to have that chip auger to help pull chips out of here, because it would be very hard to scoop chips out of this thing. I suppose you could pop off this panel and scoop them out that way. I think that's what people do. And yeah, so we went over air, 100 PSI, and this was, I don't know what I think the machine, they tell you to do a lot more SCFM, but that's what this one is, and it has been perfect. I haven't had one problem with it. Let's do tool organization. I don't have a whole lot of tools. These are Cat 40 tool holders. I'm not going to talk about why I bought this one, but this is cool. I got it from Haas. I've been laying stuff in here on the side. I'm probably going to copy this guy. If you look up like Haas Mini Mill, Home Garage, or Home Shop, he makes like custom glassworking stuff, but he used a US General cabinet, and then he built a tool holder rack above it. I think I'm going to copy that because it was slick. I really like it. Also, I've got, let's see, from Harbor Freight, I bought these little organizers. I hope you didn't see that. My battery's about ready to die. I bought these organizers for tooling. I don't have a lot. I've just been buying what I need right now. These are my collets. Haas now has the non-metric collet sets, which is cool because at first they didn't, and it was kind of annoying. So this one has your typical like 1/4 inch, 3/8 kind of stuff. The other ones were metric, and they just always were a little on the loose side. I mean, they worked, but a little looser than I like. And what else? So that's kind of it. If you guys want to talk more, I'll talk more. And I almost forgot. So this, I think this is called Rapid Air. The kit was only like $100, and it came with all these fittings, and it's really slick because that line pops right into here, and it's like an airtight. If I put my ear up to it, I can't hear anything. And it came with this adapter. I bought all this from like Harbor Freight. I like brass. If you get the steel ones, they corrode and just turn disgusting. I like the universal connectors on all my stuff, so I don't have to worry about that. But these guys, they make hooking it up so easy. However, with as nice as those are, I still opted to not do that because you can bend it pretty tight, and I didn't want to choke down these small lines more than I needed. And yeah, I had the water. There's one of the other blocks that it came with right here, and it has a little valve where you could bleed off water. And I kind of set it up like I was going to have a ton of water, but I don't. It's been perfect. Surface plate, I need to move this because I keep getting a bunch of dirt from all this falling down on it. But it's always a work in progress, always fluid. Website, what I got to talk about is if you want free parts, I have tool libraries for a Haas Mini Mill. I have all of this designed to be made on a Haas Mini Mill, all for free. You could buy it made out of brass. You could help me out. Buy this sucker, open up some root beers. That helps me. But also, if you're like, nah, dude, I'm trying to do this for free. We come here, we click on Make It, and I'm gonna have, right now I have all the prints, all the CAD and CAM for the tuna and the chonk. Let's click on the tuna. And so as I progress, the next one's gonna be my speed arm. I don't know what I'm gonna call it yet. I think I call it the wasabi actually. So if I click on tuna, I have the location for all the PDFs. I have the location for my, this is really CAD and CAM instruction, so I need to update that. And I have a tool library that probably I need to update as well because I've added some tools. And then my tool library has all the feeds and speeds and all the tools and all the links to all the tools I use from my library, so you can really just plug and play. And if I click on the PDF drawings, I have it broken down, simplified, and a little more complex. There we go, internet. And those are all the prints. And if we go back, I can go to my video right here. And I've got all my videos in one location. And this is kind of, so this is the coaster, and they're 2-op parts where you actually machine one side and you flip it over and machine the other side. Because a lot of stuff I find, they don't show you how to machine the back side. It's like, okay, cool, I can machine the top side of something, but how do I actually flip the darn thing over and machine the back side and pick up my X, Y, and Z and make an accurate part? So I actually go into that, and the coaster is a good one for that. The tuna, this is, I cannot do a Mac one-handed. I don't have my mouse hooked up. Oh no, he's going all over the place. All right, I'm just looking dumb. But anyways, on the top, let me reorient with a view cube. Apparently I can't do anything today. All right, so this is all the top operations, and to do those cool little intricate tool paths, I have that all there, and it takes, so this is a lot of them. If you want to get started with something simpler, I would suggest doing my coaster. That one's a lot simpler and a lot safer. This has quite a few tool paths, but I have all the videos for doing the entire top side and all the videos for doing the entire back side, so we can be cool friends and all machine the same parts. I cannot do a Mac one-handed. All right, so that's the back side. I've looked like a fool enough trying to navigate my computer, but that's it. clay-manufacturing.com for free prints, free videos, and free cam. And you just, right there, that's what it looks like. That's my logo. That's my machine. If you got questions, leave them in the comments. I'm not a perfect person, so I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of diarrhea coming out of my mouth. And even some of the other ones I posted, I'm like, oh, gosh dang it. Like I said back right corner and I back left corner, just small things, but whatever. Living and learning. All right, guys, have a good one. Bye.